Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Welcome to the Posse and podcast, ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. What's up, guys? So today we are talking about how to help quiet that mean voice in your head, plus other great tips to ease your anxiety, fear, and stress. How many of you need this episode today? And how many of you will probably need it next week too? I would say all of you, right? And the first thing I want to say about this is that it is absolutely normal to have anxiety, fear, and stress, and to even have that mean voice in your head. Everyone has it. Even positive Pollyanna, who seems like she doesn't. She does too. She just, doesn't want to admit it, is using that as a form of denial and smiles through it. But everyone has their days. Just not everyone is comfortable showing their shit. Like I am, for example. I like showing people my good days, my bad days, my in-between days, because what I feel that does is, number one, it shows you guys that I'm human. It also shows you guys it doesn't matter if you have millions in the bank. You're still going to have good days, bad days, in-between days. That's life. So it's irrelevant of how much, financial success or status that you have. And also, we're just all human doing the best we can. And there's so many things that go on in life. We're supposed to have an array of emotions, you guys. I don't know if it's like the positivity movement that has swept the world, that has made people think or even have shame if they have feeling depressed and down or stressed. Like, I shouldn't feel this way. I've done mindset work, or I've attended a Tony Robbins event. And I have mantras, or I'm a spiritual coach. Like, I should not have negative thoughts, or, be this miserable, or be this melancholy, or I'm, whatever it is. I find that people who practice a lot of spirituality, are wellness coaches, are healers, are health practitioners, especially, and mindset coaches too, end up having a lot of shame and guilt when they feel stress, anxiety, anger, depression, not feeling motivated, all those, so to speak, low vibe feelings. Cause it's like, well, I've done all this work. I shouldn't have these. And I preach and teach this all the time to the public, to my clients. So God, who am I to be teaching this if I have shit weeks? Yes, it doesn't matter. You're going to have shit weeks, right? I mean, we keep using him as an example, but you go to a Tony Robbins event, he'll tell you what he has shit weeks, and then what tools he uses to help himself navigate through it. Another great example, since her episode or her show is so popular right now on Netflix, is Brene Brown. She's friends with Oprah, for Christ's sake. She has millions of dollars in the bank. She's a bestseller. She's living her best life. Meanwhile, she struggles all the time. In fact, if you guys go watch that, I feel like I'm doing a plug for it, but if you guys go watch that, she'll tell you, that she recently, body shamed herself to death because she had to put on, a bathing suit and it didn't look so cute. She'll tell you about her bad days and that she has vulnerability hangovers, right? So you need to own that and not be so afraid of sharing your shit because maybe it's something you teach, right? You guys know that I teach all things money, all things, online and business marketing. But a big component of what I teach is mindset. I am a top performance coach. Corporations hire me all the time to come in and not only teach sales to their sales teams, but also a big component of what I work on with these people is their mindset. Being nervous about showing up, being nervous about, going back to the same people who may have said no before or people who have ghosted them. And it's like, how many times do I go back before I'm annoying somebody? How many times do I keep talking about my product or my service where I'm being annoying? Or what do you do when you have no sales for a week or your sales for the whole month suck? And you've brought on almost, no new clients. You've sold almost nothing of whatever it is you sell. Now what do you do, right? You need to have tools in your arsenal to know what to do when that happens. It is going to happen, right? Facebook has down months. You guys, if any of you guys are in the stock market like me, all companies have down months. Sometimes they have down quarters. Like, this is business, right? This happens. So I want to make sure that you guys hear me and know that you're being validated right now, that this is normal. There's no amount of money you can make, no amount of prestige or success will be able to wipe away any low vibe days or feelings. It's part of the human existence. And why that is there is so when we have the polar opposite, when we have good days, when we have nice days, when we have amazing days, the only way that we're able to recognize those days as being so great, good, and exhilarating is because we've experienced the polar opposite. So it's that law of polarity. You guys can Google that if you're interested. It's something that is heavily taught in manifestation. And you guys know I am a longtime practitioner of manifestation. It's something I also teach. And the law of polarity is you can't appreciate the good, the highs, the big months, the amazing things in life when you're like, I'm going to be on the cover of Forbes magazine. I'm so amazing. I'm going to get millions of downloads from a TED Talk I'm going to do. You can't experience those beautiful high vibe days unless you've experienced those shit days where you want to quit. Because your body and your mind know the difference. Does that make sense? You guys take a screenshot right now. It takes you 2 seconds. And after you're done listening, I want you to post this in your stories so I know that you heard me. And also sharing it with your audience is going to help them feel validated too. So take a screenshot. Make sure you tag me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Share in your stories or share it on Facebook. You can tag me there too at ProjectME with Tiffany. Sharing this show and sharing this episode is going to also show your audience, regardless of if you have a business or not. Maybe you're in a 9-to-5, you're in a corporate career, you strongly desire to have a business, whatever it is, it's showing the people who follow you, whether it's friends and family or whether it's hundreds of thousands of people, it shows them that there are going to be low vibe days and that's okay. Right. And here's one tool and one person and one thing to listen to if you're going through a low vibe time. And by the way, it can change all day long for me. Like in the morning, pre-coffee is normally not my best moment. Let's keep it real. So pre-coffee, it's normally like I could stay in bed all day and meditate and be totally fine with that, like for hours and hours. I tell myself that, but like probably at some point I would get up. So that's usually how I am in the morning. It's not a low vibe state, but it's certainly not a high vibe state. Then after my body starts moving, I have coffee or I go exercise. That's usually my peak time. So now I'm like, I'm going to conquer the day. I'm going to check everything off my high priority list, because I separate my task lists. That's another episode. But I'm going to tackle everything on that list, and I'm going to eat kale. And oh my God, I might even take like meditation mini breaks throughout the day. Right. And then 2 hours later, I'm like, holy shit, I've only done one thing. Fuck meditating. And I'm starving. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can fluctuate all day long. That's like the human existence, right? It's just how it is. So here are some things for you guys to start incorporating if they feel right to you, right? You can always try them on for size and see if they fit to help quiet that mean voice in your head. The first thing is go and listen to, for example, come back and listen to this podcast episode, right? Or listen to like a Brene Brown, or read some of her stuff, or read some of my stuff. People who are honest about that fluctuation of emotions, because then you're being validated and it's telling your mind, okay, we're not alone. This is normal. Even highly successful people who are crushing it go through this. So I don't need to sit in the shame and shame myself for feeling these things. That's where the insanity starts, right? Is we start shaming ourselves for feeling lower vibe emotions, and then that keeps us low vibe. That's insanity. So we have to lift that shame off it and judgment off it. I don't give a shit if you teach positivity for a living. So what? Turn their shit into a lesson. Get on your damn stories, or go share with a friend, or go write a post or a blog article about what you do to help yourself navigate and work through a crappy day, a crappy week, a crappy month, right? That's real life. That's what's going to resonate with people. So you heard my first thing. I want you to ingest something and expose yourself to people who are being real about it, so you don't feel alone, and it will help lift that veil of shame and judgment. Like, you don't have to be Miss, Pollyanna positive in order to be successful and have an amazing life. The second thing is, I want you to get those feelings out of your system, right? So I already told you to ingest something. Now I need you to express something. I need you to get it out. So whether it's calling a good friend or family member and just telling them, listen, I need to vent. I may sound crazy, but I just need to get this off my chest to get it out. When we leave feelings, especially negative, low vibe feelings inside of our head, they like fester like mold, right? So we have to get them out. That doesn't mean getting them out makes them go away, but it does lighten it. It does lift it. It's like almost, it's like opening fresh air to like a moldy shower, right? It's not going to get rid of that mold completely, but it certainly helps. So I want you, calling a good friend, even if you don't have friends, or your friends suck, or your family members suck, you might still be surrounded by a lot of toxic people, like where I was 5 years ago. Then DM me. And if you've never DM'd me before, try it, because you'll be shocked. I reply to each and every one. I take 2 hours a day and reply to every single DM personally. So DM me, or even do a voice. You can do a voice recording DM and get some of it out. And just say, this is where I'm feeling. I just wanted to get it out. Thanks for listening. Or if there's anything you can say, do that, right? I just want you to get it out. Another way is, and this is a way I use, because I'm very comfortable, like I keep saying, in using my shit to serve. Okay. So I'll even do, which I've done before. You guys can go look at my IGTVs, like even go back to like some of the earlier ones. I'll get on there and say, you know what? I wasn't going to get on here at all because I was kind of feeling bad about procrastinating. And I did a whole thing on procrastinating and I got it out. So I explained what I was going through. And then just by getting it out, even though here I'm talking to a screen, and yes, I had feedback from comments and stuff like that, but I got it out. Sometimes I get it out by writing an Instagram post. Sometimes I get it out just by writing in my own personal journal. It doesn't always have to be calling someone. Or guess what? Sometimes I get on and make a podcast episode about the thing because I know if I'm suffering with something or I'm challenged with something, the likelihood is that one of you guys or many of you guys, thousands of you, are also experiencing it or have experienced it at some point, and I can use what I'm going through as a lesson. So there, I just got some of it out. So remember, I want you to ingest and then I want you to express. That's going to help you. So then let's go to like the anxiety, fear, and stress part, okay? Because this is like a mishmash of hell. I mean, really. I mean, if there was like a little person that just like sat in my brain, just like to observe and take notes, they would like explode. Like they couldn't handle it. I swear to, and it's some insanity. I looked up the stat for some post recently that I did. I mean, the amount of thoughts we have per minute are insane. And for my female and male listeners, females, we have way more thoughts than men. I know we're all surprised. No offense, guys. Here's like how I picture a guy's thought, by the way. It's like sandwich, sex, car, gas, burping, money. That's how I picture like the male's mind. And I could be totally wrong, but it amuses me nonetheless. Anyway, and then a woman's mind is like insane. It's like, pick up the kids, go to the dry cleaning. Oh my God, I can't believe I ate that for lunch. Now I have to eat kale for dinner. Oh, I don't have enough clients. Now I need to get more clients. I need to clean this. Oh my God, why is this so dusty? Ouch, I just stepped on a Lego. Oh my God, what are we going to have for dinner? I didn't thaw out the meat. Now I'm going to have to go get something. Oh, the car is low on gas. I mean, I could do a whole thing on it. It's like, we just don't stop. It is crazy. And then when our fear receptors, our stress receptors get ignited, maybe you get triggered by an unexpected bill, right? Or maybe just even an expected bill, right? You know they're coming, but it's like when they come, it's like, holy shit. I mean, that recently happened to me. It's like, I don't spend any money, that I'm very conscious of what I spend, right? And strategic about what I spend and what I save. But still, sometimes I get shocked. Like I thought I paid this $25,000 credit card bill, which by the way, that's not uncommon for me to have a bill like that. I'm a points whore. Thank you. So I put everything on my card. That's a pro tip. So I got this bill and I thought I paid it prior to my trip to Hong Kong, Singapore, and the Maldives. I mean, because I usually make a point of paying my bills ahead, so there's no chance I'm late, yada, yada. And about like 3 days after I came back, I started getting alerts on my phone that my bills past due. So what happened is I submitted the payment, but something must have happened with the internet connection, or maybe I shut off my computer or it restarted. Something happened. It didn't go through. So you can imagine, number one, I don't like being late on anything because late fees are a waste of money. That's one thing. The worst thing is the interest on credit cards because I pay off all my bills in full now. I wasn't always able to do that. And you can imagine the interest on 25 grand. So I was like, holy shit. So I definitely got triggered because my business bank account, right, looked much different than I thought it looked. I was like, oh, great. Okay. Like, this is where I'm happy where I'm at this month. Right. Well, I thought that bill was paid, right? So it's really was $25,000 less. So it definitely like triggered me. And even though I have more than plenty of money to pay it, it doesn't matter. You can still have money noise, even if you have a lot of money. Okay. And it kind of got me rolling. So it triggered my fear and anxiety receptor. And I won't get too scientific on you, but what happens is our cortisol, which is our stress hormone, starts going. We all have it, right? And that starts going. It looks different for different people, but usually your heart starts racing, your stomach tightens, your breath becomes, you don't really breathe that much. And when you look at it, this is designed for when you're being like chased by a lion back in like caveman time, right? So your digestive system even like comes to a halt. Some people sweat. You start getting a dry throat. It's hard to swallow. And so you get down that path, you have this cortisol now pumping through you, and that's going to ignite further the anxiety, fear, and stress. It's just going to. And you can't just automatically turn off cortisol. Okay, when something happens, like if you had a break suddenly on the road or someone cut you off and you had to swerve, we all know what that feeling is like. That's a hardcore cortisol adrenaline surge. That can happen by being told no unexpectedly by someone who you thought was a yes client. That can happen where you thought an opportunity for something you were excited about falls through all of a sudden. You can still get that response. So you can't all of a sudden wipe that type of feeling away, okay? And anyone who says you can by like taking 10 deep breaths is lying. You can lessen it, but your body now has to circulate those hormones now. So it actually, I believe it is a 90-minute to 2-hour process. It might even be longer for your body to circulate and process all those hormones, those stress hormones out of your system. My reason for going into all this is I want you to give yourself a fucking break. When something like this happens, a fight with your significant other, unexpected bill, someone cuts you off, someone was rude to you, whatever it is, just know your body, you can't make your body shut that off. It has to process all of these hormones out. So for a period of time, you're not going to be thinking super rationally, okay? You're going to be kind of in this fight or flight mode, even with deep breaths, meditating, whatever it is you use, I use a lot of tactile things. So I'm very big in using scent, right? So I will use lavender, high quality lavender. I'll use lemon. I'll use peppermint. There's something with scent that really calms the nervous system down much faster. So that's one thing you can use. I actually have a stress blend I've created for this reason because it works so well for me. So I even carry a little bit of it in my purse. I have it at my desk. I will even use it like before I go speak on a stage just to, calm my system, because you can have anxiety and stress even for like really happy, exciting things too. If you guys want to know about my stress blend, just DM me and I'll give it to you. But just DM me and Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany and I'll give it to you. It's actually like a blend I've created. So you have to DM me for the recipe, but that really works in helping. Also, when we're smelling something, we're being forced to breathe. So you know how when you're upset and people go, just breathe, just breathe. The last fucking thing I want to do is breathe. I want to tell you to shut up. I'm not going to breathe. It's like, I don't want to even breathe right now. I'm so pissed or I'm so nervous or whatever it is. But when you use scent, when you use senses, like you're a scent and you're inhaling something, that helps you be able to breathe. That just sounded like a major pot reference. I just realized that. Well, yeah, if that works for you, I don't have anything against that either, but I would stick with my stress blend because that's something you can at least bring everywhere with you. All right. So here's the other thing I notice with people is when we are in this state, and let's say nothing triggered it, you just woke up this way, right? You woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or you're just feeling unmotivated or fatigued, or things just aren't jiving. Things aren't working. It's like, what the hell's going on? And everyone's having success but me, and you're starting down this whole path, right? And now you've got a big case of comparisonitis. That's not fun. I know. I've been there. I get triggered into getting there. It doesn't have to be any kind of major moment. There is a term that's used in recovery programs. It's an amazing acronym, and it's called HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. I add an S to it, so halts, and the S is stress. So hungry, angry, lonely, tired, stressed. And when I am any of those things, and I've worked with thousands of people, so truly anyone I've worked with, if you're in any of those zones, if you're in the halt zone, the likelihood that you're feeling anxiety, fear, stress, low vibe emotions is because you're hungry, angry, lonely, tired, or stressed. So that's a good reminder. Take a screenshot right now. And I want you to post on your Instagram and or Facebook with HALT, H-A-L-T or H-A-L-T-S, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, stressed. This is the biggest indicator for you to do a check-in and ask yourself, okay, am I any of these things, right? Which of these things am I right now? Okay, this makes sense why I am slipping into anxiety, fear, in these lower vibes emotions. And then you can go, okay, what can I do to help alleviate this, right? Is there anything I can do? Is it realistic? Can I take a nap today? Can I go to bed early? Can I drink more water? Can I go get myself lunch? Can I connect with someone? How can I get some of this anger out? Is it, working out at the gym? Do I need a journal? Whatever it is. Here's another hint I need to give you guys. It's probably going to be one of your biggest takeaways from listening to this, other than HALT, is procrastination is fear in disguise. I'm going to say it again. Procrastination is fear in disguise. So if you are finding yourself doing a lot of procrastinating, it is really coming out of fear. It's your resistance and mindset resistance into doing something and taking action, and it keeps us in a low vibe state. So what I say for this procrastination zone, and I fall into it too, but I can catch myself now, is the best remedy for procrastination is action. Is taking action. Even if it's a tiny, tiny action, it's taking action. Staying into procrastination is insanity. I mean, it is being in a fear spiral of hell. So even if it's a project you really are avoiding and really don't want to work on, take action then on something else. Like even if it's grocery shopping you need to do, or pulling weeds in your garden, or something that you actually really need to do, ask yourself, which one of these things can I at least get done to get myself into action? You might not get done right away that big thing you're resisting, but what happens is you start getting into action with these smaller, less scary things you're less resistant to. And by being in action, your mood starts to lift, that fear starts to dissipate, and then you end up just doing the damn thing that you should have done, 2 weeks ago anyway. Does that resonate with any of you guys? So let me know, DM me, leave a iTunes review. That would be amazing. And let me know how this episode resonated with you and what you learned from it. But, share this. I challenge you guys, go share your shit. Go share your shit. It helps other people shine. It helps you shine. It makes people have more trust in you and respect for you, and makes you more relatable, that you aren't this always positive, have your shit together person. Anyone who comes across like that, by the way, I don't follow and I stay away from, because it's not real. It's not possible. It's fake, and it's a turnoff to me. So you don't need to do that for someone to want to hire you or follow you. You be you and just make a lesson out of it, right? Use yourself as an example. And I promise you, people will give you the most amazing feedback, because it makes other people feel less alone and validated for having the same thing. So as always, you guys, wishing you great health, wealth, and worth. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.